promise you'll always visit me in my dreams. And please don't forget about me. Don't forget to come watch me play soccer.
A heart-wrenching ahui ho from the goddaughter of Maui Police Officer Suzanne O, who was tragically killed while responding to a call on August 15th. A final salute and a memorial service was held this morning for Officer O. Loved ones, friends, colleagues, and the community came together to honor her life, service, and sacrifice. Our Casey Lund joins us live from Kahului with more. Case.
Aloha, Ashley, from the Maui Arts and Cultural Center, where that ceremony wrapped up, and that moment that you played out there was one of those gut-wrenching moments that were hard to keep those tears back when we were in this ceremony. Just wrapped up again, like I said, about an hour ago. They just took down the flags and the fire trucks that were stationed out here in front of the MAC. But I want to take you back to the beginning of my day, anyway, and that procession that started at the mortuary in Wailuku before coming here. And during the morning show today, we had time to catch up with Maui County Mayor Richard Bisson. We asked him to address the public and just speak what's on his heart about today and his thoughts on Suzanne O.
You know, the best things that have come out about her background is just incredible. First of all, her commitment to her community, her courage, the compassion that she has. She was so community-minded. I think that's probably the biggest trait that I can share about her from all accounts, from anyone who knew her. And just a lovely spirit, but so serving, just having a servant's heart. And I know everyone's going to miss that.
How are community members feeling? Like, I know that you've been around and at the vigil. Like, what are you hearing?
Yeah, I think everyone is consistent across the board. Only kind words to say about her. Those who knew her well. Obviously, her family deeply impacted, and our thoughts and prayers go out to them foremost. The rest of our Maui County Police Department, and really our entire state, our entire community, because everyone's been impacted, not just Maui. I would say the entire state was impacted by this tragic loss.
And then final question, you know, why is it important to remember her, honor her, not just today, but always?
Yeah, today is, of course, her celebration. It's for her and the life she lived and the service she gave. But it's a reminder to us about all first responders, the sacrifices they make. Obviously, she made the ultimate sacrifice in the protection of her community. And for us, it's a reminder of the risks that our first responders all take every day when they put on their uniforms and serve our community. And so today we honor them as well.
Beautiful. Any other final messages or thoughts?
Yeah, just aloha to our entire community for all the outpouring of support that have come. And I urge people to continue to support the family and continue to support our Maui Police Department.
Yeah, well said, Mayor, and we appreciate all the Maui Police Department members and the police across our state, our law enforcement officers. That procession led here to the MAC, where I am in Kahului, back out here live. Like I mentioned, that ceremony, very somber, but very special, and moments of laughter because she was such a beautiful and funny person, a silly person, many said. But I do want to take you to some of those final moments as that ceremony wrapped up. Take a listen.
Fire! Ready! Aim! Fire!
Yeah, beautiful flower drop by the Maui police helicopter there in a missing man formation. That was a really special moment. But I want to take you to one moment that really stuck out to me. Again, her goddaughter, I should say, that you heard from there earlier. That was really special. But another woman who spoke at the podium was a retired MPD sergeant, a mentor for Officer O. She talked about the way she's going to remember her moving forward. Take a listen to the words she had to say.
I'm not willing to say you were my sister or you were my best friend. I'm not willing to talk as if you're not here, because this hole in my heart This hole in my heart is already torn, and I cannot bring myself to speak of you in the past tense. You are still in the presence in me, the way I think, the way I laugh, the way I dance, eat, and pray. Sorry. I am beyond blessed. We got to choose each other as family. You will remain a part of me today, tomorrow, and always. You're stuck with me forever. No refunds, no returns. I love you.
Yeah, another moment that was difficult to contain those emotions for a lot of folks, and a beautiful ceremony here in Kahului. And I want to mention that if you missed any of that, our amazing digital team has got that on our website at hawaiinewsnow.com. You can stream it on our platforms. We covered this, and again, you know, we're going to continue to cover this, Ashley, because this community is not healed. I was just at dinner last night when I got into town here, and there's a big group of very clearly Maui PD officers and their spouses eating dinner and enjoying one's company before this really heavy day. But you could still see on their faces the pain that exists. This only happened just earlier this month. So there's a lot of healing left to do in this community, but it's strong enough to get through it. We'll send things back to you on Oahu.
Louis, a hard but very important assignment. Thanks, Case. The Honolulu prosecutor has charged Antonio Vieira with second-degree arson. The 7-year-old is accused of setting at least one fire out of a string of 8 in Kunia over the past several weeks. Now, Vieira is out of jail after posting his $50,000 bail. His initial court appearance is set for Tuesday. A 2-alarm fire that destroyed multiple golf carts in Kailua is under investigation. Firefighters were called to the Royal Hawaiian Golf Club at around 11:15 last night and found the golf carts burning on the first floor of the parking structure. It took about an hour to get the fire under control and another hour to put it out. One person was treated by EMS for smoke inhalation. Fire investigators are still working to determine what caused the fire and where it started. And more details on the 2-alarm fire in Ainahaina yesterday morning that caused the home to collapse. Firefighters released these photos showing the damage. The blaze broke out just before 4:45 Thursday morning on Lave Street. A neighboring home was also damaged. EMS treated a 73-year-old man at the scene, but he declined transport to a hospital. The cause is under investigation. We're hearing from the families of the 2 children who were killed in this week's shooting at a Minneapolis Catholic school. 15 other students and 3 adults were injured. Jonah Kaplan is in Minneapolis with the latest.
Give your kids an extra hug and kiss today. We love you, Fletcher. You'll always be with us.
Jesse Merkel, the father of 8-year-old Fletcher, is asking the world to remember his little boy as the person he was and not the act that ended his life.
Fletcher loved his family, friends, fishing, cooking, and any sport that he was allowed to play.
And in a statement, the family of Harper Moisky said she was a bright, joyful, and deeply loved 10-year-old whose laughter, kindness, and spirit touched everyone who knew her. They also urged leaders to take meaningful steps to address gun violence and the mental health crisis in America.
3 shotgun shells were recovered, along with approximately 116 rifle rounds.
Investigators are pouring through the shooter's life, including questioning family and looking through hundreds of journal pages filled with disturbing messages.
The shooter idolized some of the most notorious school shooters and mass murderers in our country's history.
Video of the scene shows stained glass windows riddled with bullet holes. Some students, like 5th grader Astoria Safe, say it will be hard to return there.
I don't know how I ever will. It was the most traumatizing thing that's ever happened to me. I don't know.
A bullet grazed her forehead and a fragment remains lodged in her skull.
It's too dangerous to take out. The surgery is too dangerous, so it's going to be in my head for a while.
Mayor Jacob Fry says the city has partnered with dozens of agencies to add extra patrols around schools and houses of worship. Jonah Kaplan, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Back here at home, Maui police have arrested 3 people accused of burglarizing a family business in Kula. 27-year-old Jordan Bibbs, 21-year-old Ki'ilani Kalave, and 27-year-old Shayna Furtado are charged with criminal property damage, burglary, theft, and several firearms offenses. They're accused of breaking into Kula Hardware and Nursery last Friday. Owners Lacey Taylor and her family lost hundreds of dollars worth of items, and they're stuck with thousands of dollars in damage.
All of the unfortunate break-ins at so many local businesses recently that it kind of puts into everybody's mind that maybe there does need to be stricter consequences that helps deter that kind of stuff from happening and affecting local businesses.
Sources say police also recovered a loaded shotgun when they arrested the 3 suspects. Well, the search is on for 2 separate drivers who police say hit a man lying on Nimitz Highway. This happened just after midnight yesterday. Neither driver stopped to help, and the 50-year-old man is now in critical condition. If you have any tips, please call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen.
How's it on this Aloha Friday? We're in for another gorgeous day, a gorgeous weekend actually. A fairly long stretch of mostly dry conditions. That's what we're in right now. So rainfall will be minimal, although with the winds running light, we could see some afternoon clouds and a few afternoon showers. Now heads up, surf's looking really good with the lighter winds and the rising south swell. This swell is peaking today. We might have some overhead sets on the south shore. West side is going to be pretty good as well.
Thank you, Guy. Ahead on This Is Now, cruise lines sue the state over a new tax they claim violates the Constitution. Plus, the holiday weekend travel rush is underway, how the airline industry is handling what's expected to be the busiest Labor Day in 15 years. Welcome back to This Is Now. Governor Josh Green is headed to Italy today. He'll participate in meetings with Italian government leaders as part of his duties as the president of the Council of State Governments. The governor also plans to visit the Vatican to meet with Pope Leo XIV, where he could extend a personal invitation for the Pope to visit Kalaupapa on Molokai. Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Luke will continue to serve as acting governor until Governor Green returns on Sunday. A court challenge aims to block Hawaii's new tax on cruise ships. Ben Gutierrez tells us why the industry believes the tax is unlawful.
Visitors staying in a hotel or vacation rental already pay nearly 19% in taxes, among the highest rates in the nation. Out-of-state cruise lines want to keep their passengers from paying that as well. The cruise industry's new lawsuit says Hawaii is blatantly violating the U.S. Constitution by imposing an 11% tax on out-of-state cruise passengers starting in January and letting the counties add an extra 3%. It's the first time cruise ships will have to pay the transient accommodations tax charged at hotels and vacation rentals.
Here you have literally a floating hotel, right? You have a floating hotel. The hotel industry has paid their fair share for the past years.
The trade group that filed the lawsuit wouldn't do an interview, but its lawsuit claims the tax violates a federal clause, which bars states from imposing any charge for using a port. It also claims the tax will add hundreds of dollars to the cost of each ticket and force families to go elsewhere.
It's going to hurt the industry and people are not going to come. Well, then find me a tourist on your ship that is going to publicly say that. Say it publicly. You know, if that's the case, then this is not the right place for you.
Last year, the state says more than 150,000 out-of-state cruise passengers came to Hawaii.
One of the challenges is because they don't pay any tax when they come to port, yet they still have stress on the infrastructure.
The new tax also includes a 0.75% green fee to fund projects that help the environment.
I spoke with a lot of tourists this weekend while I was sitting there playing tourist myself, and I didn't hear anybody complain about it. And I brought up the green fee just like that, and they're like, we don't mind.
Hawaii's Attorney General was just served with a complaint and will not comment until they have a chance to review it. Ben Gutierrez, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Ben. Americans are enjoying the last days of summer this weekend. TSA expects nearly 17.5 million people at its checkpoints through Wednesday for the Labor Day travel rush. As Chris Van Cleve reports, this comes amid another air traffic control communications issue.
It happened again, a communications outage impacting Newark Airport Thursday, just as the Labor Day weekend travel push ramped up.
Is it COM or the ILS frequencies that are unreliable?
It's our COM. Same old here. Frequencies are no good. There's parts missing.
The FAA says it's investigating this latest episode at the same Philadelphia area air traffic control facility that experienced major outages earlier this year. Thursday's outage happening despite the installation of newly upgraded communications lines, resulting in hundreds of delays.
It was a little disappointing, but I think 30 minutes isn't as bad as it could be, as we've experienced this summer.
Wednesday, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy promised additional air traffic control upgrades.
By the time we get to next summer, there's going to be some noticeable changes and improvements in the airspace.
American and United Airlines expect to fly about 7 million passengers this weekend. The FAA is forecasting the busiest Labor Day in 15 years. The Kittle family is hoping to beat the crowd leaving Washington, D.C.
Yeah, definitely nervous. We didn't know what to expect with the holiday. We thought it might be really busy, so we got here a little bit early.
According to AAA, domestic round-trip flights are 6% cheaper than last year, averaging $720 a ticket. U.S. hotel rates are down 11%, and car rentals dropped 3%. Most Americans will drive, finding gas prices on average about 15 cents a gallon cheaper. Welcome news for Sarah Rowland's road trip through Oregon.
Trying to escape the Nashville heat. We thought Labor Day weekend would be nice here.
The FAA is watching for potential delays in places like Boston, across Texas, Florida, Denver, and San Francisco. Here in Newark, so far so good. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Newark.
Now let's take a live look outside with our tower cam. We're so lucky that we don't have to really go anywhere for vacation if we don't want to. Look at this weather on this Aloha Friday. Guys, gonna have your full forecast in 2 minutes.
First Alert Weather with Guy Huggy.
How's it on this Aloha Friday? The weather's looking very nice going through the weekend. We're not going to see much in the way of significant rainfall, so that's the one challenge, is that it's going to be very dry. There will be a few stray showers. You can see them there, but nothing organized. And most leeward sides might get, a few afternoon pop-up showers. And with these winds running slow for the next several days, it'll be a little sticky from time to time, so you can expect higher humidity levels, but still lots of sunshine. Get out and enjoy the best weather on the planet. And like I said, the best chance for rain will over the next several days will be late in the day into the early evening with some spotty showers expected, but those kinds of showers are not widespread. We've got a nice swell rolling into south and west shores. It's peaking today. Maybe some overhead sets at the better spots on the south shore. And with the winds running light, conditions will be very good for south and west shores. Even the east shores will have nicer conditions, but it's going to be smaller there. So we're in a long stretch of mostly dry conditions with those lighter winds. Over the weekend, it's going to be a little stickier with the winds running variable at 5 to 15, and there's a better chance for those afternoon pop-up showers. But again, widespread rain not expected. And then those light winds will continue for most of next week as well.
Thank you, Guy. On Hawaii Island, residents sounded off during a meeting with Puna Geothermal Venture. It got heated during Tuesday's Q&A session in Pahua. PGV is moving forward with upgrades to replace old generating units and produce more power. Grading has already started, but some residents are worried about safety issues, environmental toxins, and possible illnesses. PGV says it has third-party monitors and is regulated by federal and state agencies.
Yeah, listen. We are required by law to let people know what is going on there. It's better than not telling anyone anything and you see the steam plume. The plant is not producing any loud booms. There's no loud booms there.
It is your kuleana. There is no way to get around that fact. So for you to continue to say, well, go talk to somebody else, is a betrayal of your duty to do business here.
The project is expected to be completed late next year. 6 wells have been out of service since the 2018 Kilauea eruption. PGV says some could be used for monitoring, while others may be plugged up and abandoned. Also on the Big Island, Isaac Kepo'okalani Hale Beach Park in Puna will be closed until further notice starting next Tuesday to keep the public safe during crane dredging operations at the Poho'iki boat ramp. The work is part of an ongoing effort to restore ocean access by removing the sand and debris that accumulated during the 2018 eruption. Now, crane dredging will continue through October 31st. The entire project is scheduled to be completed by November. Well, still to come, a surprise stowaway was found in a woman's car after she drove 400 miles across California. We have that story in 2 minutes. tonight, a California woman didn't realize she had a stowaway when she began her drive from Sacramento to Santa Cruz. Zoe Hunt tells us what it took to free the little one.
And I said, oh my gosh, I hear it.
A shocking discovery for Amelia Escalante and her friend Jan Furman when they realized the little kitten had been stuck inside Amelia's car the whole time she was driving home from Sacramento.
It must have just climbed right up there. And when it came down to Santa Cruz with me, I thought the first instinct I have is this cat needs to be rescued and it needs love.
Immediately, auto body shop Circle Star Motors stepped in to help.
I just couldn't believe that this car drove 4 hours and there was this little kitten still alive in it. And so it just became kind of like this mission.
It took hours, but Circle Star Motors owner Max Etter wasn't giving up.
Come hell or high water, he was going to get that kitten out of the car.
After several hours of searching through this vehicle, I decided to use a piece of equipment that we use here for looking internally inside engines, which is called a borescope. You snake it down through the car, but then you have to be like, okay, am I looking left? Am I looking right? Is this up or down? You're just looking at an image on a screen.
Then 7 hours later,
lo and behold, was this amazing little kitten that came out crying like a banshee. And
against all odds, the kitten managing to survive hours on the road with the heat, exhaust, and speed of the highway. In the end, the stray cat, now named Rover after the car she came from, finding her family.
And that's Zoe Hunt reporting. Glad it's a happy ending. Thanks for watching, everybody. Aloha Fire Day.